Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the DTRUTH Podcast. I'm your girl, Blessing Yogun, and with me in the studio, we've got
Kingsley Namdi.
Yes, and our favorite pharmacist today,
Pharmacist Rhoda.
Of course. So, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the Independence Day celebration. If you haven't listened to our live show, please go listen to it. But I'm going to ask all of us in the studio, because last time we had asked, what's like the Nigerian dream for you? You know, what do you hope to see Nigeria in the next 10 years? Or are you not dreaming? Or you think there's no hope?
There is hope. There is hope.
So what's the Nigerian dream for you? Like, what do you want? Like I said in the show, I like to see a leadership that is accountable. That's one thing I look forward to seeing. That's one of my dreams, that we'll have a leadership that is accountable to the people. And of course, it'll curb a whole lot of corruption. There are so many things here, basically.
Well, from a political standpoint, it's an area that fascinates me so much. I want Nigeria to be represented at the Security Council of the United Nations.
Wow, that's a global stage,
Yes,
like
that's-
right there.
that's
Our
like my
president
biggest dream.
couldn't go to the United Nations.
He sends
you know.
the vice president.
Yeah, so that's a good dream.
Yeah.
Very good dream.
Exactly.
Mine is on the health. Like, I wish in Nigeria that people can just have free access to healthcare. I was listening to someone that said in Canada IVF is free. I say,
Whoa, really?
Yes, in Canada IVF is free. So I just began to think. I said, so you can imagine. So I look forward to in Nigeria where healthcare becomes accessible to all.
Wow, that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
You know how expensive those things are.
Very,
Yeah.
very expensive,
Yeah.
And of course, the basic things like hunger, poverty, But of course, at least we're still dreaming. Thank God.
Still dreaming. Our dreams to come true.
Okay, so today we're going to be putting the spotlight on a very, very beautiful topic that affects people worldwide. I won't just say ladies, because these women are families. So it affects husbands, siblings, it affects everybody worldwide. And we're looking at breast cancer awareness. This is the month of October. It's like the pink month. So we're going to lend our voice on today's show on this topic. And helping us today, of course, is Pharmacy Rhoda Ndon. Let's drum, give it up for her. She's like a friend of the family already. And of course, she's an advocate when it comes to healthcare and an educationist, and of course, professionally a pharmacist. But she's not alone today to, dive into this topic with us. On the show today, we've got an amazing doctor. Yes, we've got Dr. Joy Adeyeye Oluwatoyin. I hope Oluwatoyin. Yeah, so the Adeye is supposed to come before. So Dr. Joy is here. She's, of course, a graduate from University of Ilorin, better by far, all of our Ilorin people out there. She's joining us all the way from Lagos State. I know that there's a whole lot of awareness going on there. Of course, she's also a health advocate, spreading knowledge, getting people informed to make healthy decisions about their health. So, Dr. Joy, the floor is yours. Do you have any other thing you want to tell us about yourself before we dive into this topic? Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for the privilege to be here. Like you already said everything about me. A medical doctor, medical practitioner, and it's such a privilege to be here to be able to share my knowledge, because I believe that knowledge is power. So it's nice to be here to be able to share knowledge so people are more aware about what the Pink Month is all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again. She said it, the pink month. And there's so many themes, they said women everywhere, so many themes globally on the breast cancer awareness. So let's dive into it, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Joy, for the audience who are a little bit ignorant concerning the topic on breast cancer, we would like you to start us off on what it entails. What is breast cancer?
Okay. Thank you very much. So, breast cancer, like we all know, cancer is like a malignancy or a growth, an abnormal growth, and that. But this abnormal growth is targeted towards the breast. and in females and as well as in males. So that's what breast cancer is all about, just the cancer of the breast.
Funny question. So, do men by chance have breast
Yes.
cancer?
That's one of the myths I'm going to be debunking, that yes, men do have breast cancer.
That's
Yeah,
very
I
good.
actually saw that somewhere. Yeah.
Men do have.
And I was shocked actually. I was doing a little research and I saw that men actually have breast cancer. Like, is this one chest cancer or what? Or I mean, is it men that have a whole lot of fat in that area? I was like, how come? But truly, that's a myth you have actually debunked. So
Yes.
men actually do have breast
Cancer.
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 Can
Wow.
have, but of course,
Yeah.
not as much as the ladies, but
Oh.
can. Wow, interesting. Already, it's already getting very, very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So we've seen what cancer is, just like every other cancer, but I guess it happens
To the breast.
to the breast. Okay. So, Fambro, what is the symptoms and signs that one has breast cancer, specifically breast cancer, of course?
Okay, most times it's been said that early, sometimes when it's so early, there will be no symptoms. That's
Oh.
why it's always good to keep doing screening, especially if maybe we'll talk about the risk factors later. But lump, although some people might not have lump, but lumps in the breast or in the armpits, and sometimes there's a deepening of the nipples or inversion of the nipples where the nipples will just go in. There could be discharge. Sometimes the discharge can be bloody, come with
Wow.
blood, and mostly all the symptoms will be around the breast area. So that's why the awareness now is that don't just do a breast examination, just know your breast, so that if there's any abnormality or any changes, report to the hospital immediately. So if there are discharge, if there are dimples, like you know how dimples come on your body, dimples kind of stuff on the breast, the skin discoloration, discharge, and invasion or lump, those are all the signs of breast cancer.
My God.
But not all lumps. I want to say
Yes,
it now.
yes.
Not all lumps are because I know there was a time there was this awareness, and one of my friends had a lump on her breast, and she was so scared. Upon going for scan, it was just found to be it's called fibroadenoma. So it's just a non-cancerous lump. So they just did a lumpectomy, removed the lump, and that was all. So for the fact that there is a lump doesn't mean it's cancerous. So whenever they remove that lump, they'll even ask you to go and do a histology to be sure that there's no cancer in that lump. So
Wow. So, well, how far has the health sector, well, in collaboration with the government, gone in creating awareness concerning the signs to look out for? You know, when you see the signs, you do the needful as soon as possible to
a
prevent.
lot of people are doing just like what we are doing too. This is also
Yes.
part of the awareness.
Yes.
And one of the things I was reading recently is that with a lot of awareness, the incidence rate, the mortality rate, that's death rate, has reduced. That's because of lots of awareness. So when I did my internship in Jute in October like this, they slashed the price. Go to female wards where you know that you have a lot of females on ground. Just share this awareness, and there's some people will be like, okay, if it's this cheap, let's go for it, and they'll do. So that's part of the awareness. So some NGOs, some even private people, like what we are doing, could just come up with something and say this is what we are doing to create the awareness. So governments that I know, they are doing their own part, and then the private organizations and individuals take it upon themselves to say, okay, let's give it back to the society by creating this awareness.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Very
And
much.
truly, we'll still go back, we'll still touch on that because we'll be telling you some centers that you can actually go to get this examined, let me put it that way, or screened at a discount, most likely. Dr. Joy, Pharmacy Rhoda was talking about knowing your breasts, which is very key. You know, she said that knowing your breast, how often should you go for an examination? Is it something you do at home? Is it self-examination? Is it something that must touch your breast every morning? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? How familiar should you be, or what should the routine be like for you to when it comes to knowing your breast? Let me put it that way.
Thank you very much. For knowing your breast, it's very important because you're the best person that can actually know your breast. and that's the first step. And breast examination, according to the American Cancer Society, it's advocated that it should be done monthly, and it should be done 7 to 10 days after your period. And the reason for this is because the estrogen, progesterone, these are the female hormones that they're usually up during the menstrual cycle. But at this point, it's especially after your period, they go to a very low or minimal level. So at this point, it's very, very easy for you to pick any abnormality, any breast changes, just like our pharmacist has mentioned, those breast changes. At this point, you'll be getting an accurate result. So it should be done monthly after menstruation, 7 to 10 days after menstruation.
Oh wow, that's very helpful. So what about the men now that don't go training cycle?
Are the symptoms the same?
Yes. Do you examine this? Amazing. Okay. Well, I guess the men too can do it monthly at any time since you don't have any. Just pick a date.
Well, are the symptoms the same?
Do you know,
have to
I want
know.
to even chip in.
I have to
Actually,
know.
some of the men that I had a case recently. The man went to take a supplement. I don't know. I think he said someone told him that these supplements take care of diabetes, but this supplement is called fenugreek. This supplement is meant for women that are having issues with lactating.
Okay.
But I think outside the lactating benefits, it now has the ability to reduce blood sugar levels. He now went and took it. After taking, this is how his breast just came out.
Really came out.
Yeah, so he has been.
Please don't say that to us. Some sisters will now go and take that.
So he has been disturbing. You see that
Thank
you see that he has gone somewhere. They just told him that the doctor told him that he should just come for surgery. He said he doesn't want to go for surgery. That even he was telling me that he's feeling embarrassed. He can't wear somebody con tops or shirts because the breast is just coming out. So people like that, since the breast is already protruding, they can check now. They can do this. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Wow.
I'm never going to leave my room.
So you can go and chest it up. Like you go and work out. It gives you
Said,
opportunity
yes, I
for.
told him go and do test. So he said the reason why it's not even so obvious again is because of the exercise he's been doing.
Oh, okay,
That
yeah.
it was worse before the exercise. So it's part of what we'll still even discuss on risk factors. A lot of people abuse medications, and these medications turn back to affect them. So I think it's regretting self-medicating after taking that drug.
Oh wow. Okay, well, there's this thing that Nigerians always do. Nigerians speak out of ignorance. A lot of times, and them see syndrome. I don't know if I'm right by saying that. So I want us to debunk some myths about breast cancer. I'm sure you have loads of them, and we need the audience to hear as well. What are the common misunderstandings and misconceptions? About breast cancer. So let's hear it. Let's start with Dr. Joy Oluwatoyin Adeyeye. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, it's acceptable. So we already started with one of the myths that only women get breast cancer, and the reality is that men do have breast cancer. I've seen a case as a medical student. This man came in and he had breast cancer. But the thing about men having breast cancer is that it is very, very virulent. And I don't say 100% of the time, but like 99% of the time, it's very bad when men do have breast cancer. So men can have breast cancer as well as women. So another myth that we have is that breast cancer can only affect older women, because we see that, okay, breast cancer is just the older age group. But for some reasons, some very amazing and weird reasons, we're seeing breast cancer in younger age group, as young as 20. It's quite alarming. Yes, it's quite alarming. So breast cancer doesn't just happen in the older age group, although, like our pharmacist also mentioned, that we have some benign breast lesions, just breast lump, fibroadenoma, fibroadenosis that can happen. But sometimes, that's why it's very important that if you have a surgery and have this removed, you should or you must take it for histology, because you can just say, oh, it's not breast cancer, but that might just be an opportunity for you to catch it early and for it to be cured. So another myth is that, oh, I don't have any family history. I don't have any family member that has breast cancer, so I cannot have breast cancer. But most cases that we see, a larger percentage of people that have breast cancer don't have any family history. There's no family member, there's no mother, sister, or anybody, a close family member that has breast cancer. Most breast cancer we see are people without family history. So that you don't have any family member that has breast cancer doesn't mean that you cannot have breast cancer. Another myth that we have to debunk is that breast cancer is a death sentence and it cannot be cured. So breast cancer can be cured, and that's why we have this awareness. If you pick it very early, I remember a case as a medical student. A woman walked into the consulting room and she had a breast lump. She was maybe 21 or 22, very young. And I can remember my consultant telling the woman that, don't worry, it cannot be cancer. It can never be cancer. Like she had that assurance, but he told her, take the sample for histology. And lo and behold, when the result came out, it was cancer in that very young age group. So, but breast cancer is not a death sentence because if you catch it very early, it is curable 100%. With surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, you would, any diagnosis is key in breast cancer. Any diagnosis is key. I think that those are the common myths that we have. Let me leave it over to the pharmacist.
Okay.
Wow.
One of the other myths, like remember when I was doing my internship, someone had it in one of our senior consultant, the wife had it, and someone just said, I thought it's a sickness for the whites.
Truly.
Yes, so people think that
Cancer generally.
it's only the whites. No, the blacks are also coming down with it more and more. So it's not just for the whites. And then people also feel that it's sickness for the rich. Because immediately the man was like, the man that was saying it, that when they'll be eating anyhow, buying things anyhow with money because they have a lot of money, we've seen people that are very poor coming down with cancer. So it's not social economic selective. It can come to anybody, whatever class you are. So I think that's the remaining myth that I know.
Well, it's good we're debunking all these myths. They're even very scary. So honestly, are so fun. Some are funny, some are scary, some are wild, So thank God we're debunking it.
Yes.
Okay, you're talking about risk factors. I think we should dive into that. So what are the risk factors of breast cancer?
Okay, like Dr. Joy mentioned, one of the risk factors is that's family history. Although with family, just as we've debunked that, although it's not like people that come down with it, some of them are not in the family and all, but that's also a risk factor. And then being a female, like we mentioned, being a female, you're at risk of coming down with cancer. And diet, I think I read that vegetarians, they have a lower chances of coming down with cancer. So diet also plays a role. And sedentary lifestyle. We are living in a world where sedentary lifestyle is so much becoming like a norm. So sedentary lifestyle is a risk factor. And people that are taking certain drugs, such as we call them oral contraceptive or steroids. People take steroids so as to become very tall. So in the process, people take steroids for a lot of things. So in process, it alters the hormones and can give rise to cancer.
Wow, it's just as if this sedentary lifestyle is once you live that kind of life, you're prone to anything.
Yes,
You're prone
a
to
whole
a
lot.
lot of things.
Lifestyle
You're prone
is
to a
very
lot
key.
of things. You're prone to a lot of things. And then diet as well. So diet, family history, being a woman, then elderly from age 45 and above, you have more risk.
Oh, wow.
And then people with people that come into people that they call it menarche. That's when you get your period so early. You can see some children at the age of 10, 9 already menstruating. It's also a risk factor.
Okay. Wow. So, Dr. Joy, we want to know, have there been any advancements, in research, medications that can, in a way curb the spread of this
But with
this
these risk factors
virus.
I'm seeing, they
Yes.
seem so natural. Like not like natural, but you can't. Am I saying natural? Like the 9 year old, like you can't help some things that is menstruating. How do you curb a 9 year old from menstruating? Like all this. But let's see the like he asked Dr. Joy. Let's hear from you on the advancements in medications that
Yes.
could help curb all of
Help curb
this or lifestyle basically. And yeah, another thing, Dr. Joy, with the passion you have for healthy living, and I know you talked about the whole healthy living stuff you have and the other side things you do with fruits, and let us know more about that, and of course the advancement in medication.
Okay. We can see that breast cancer, it's always prevention, right? It's always prevention. Prevention is the first thing that we want to achieve. And from the risk factors, there are some that you cannot help, just like you said, like increasing age, exposure to estrogen. The early menarche, late menopause is just the exposure to estrogen. As if you are exposed to estrogen at a very young age and then you enter into menopause at a very late age, it just means that you've been exposed to estrogen for a long period of your life. And if you see the types of breast cancer, some of them are dependent on estrogen. So that's why also when you take oral contraceptive pills, estrogen pills, progesterone pills, this exposure to estrogen just kind of froze, make the cancer grow, make the cancer, spread and all those things. So it's always the prevention part. With the sedentary lifestyle and the diet, we encourage people to exercise, avoid, I think alcohol is also a risk factor for this. So there are some things that you can avoid while you also do the self-examination. If you notice this, now the fact that some people take oral contraceptives or the fact that some people have early menarche or late menopause does not mean that you will have breast cancer. These are just risk factors, right? So I think that's something that we should also clear our mind. The fact that you have all these risk factors does not mean that you will have breast cancer. It just happens to, and sometimes you cannot pick a risk factor to breast cancer. It can be that sad that there can be no risk factor. But if you examine yourself regularly, if you pick a lung early, like I said, breast cancer is curable at the early stage 1, stage 2. It's curable at this stage. So yes, there have been advancements in in medications, in research for breast cancer. When I was even reading about it, there are a lot of advancements in medication. But sadly, in the advanced stage, these medications, what they just do is that they just increase survival rates. So in 5 years from when someone is diagnosed with breast cancer, maybe the survival rate is as high as 90%, but it doesn't cure. For advanced breast cancer, there's still no cure for it once it happens, but they are immunotherapy. Let's start from the beginning. When someone have breast cancer, it starts from surgery. That's the first step. The little cancer, let's remove the cancerous cells out of the body. And then the next step is to do radiotherapy. So they use radiation to target the cancerous cells that could not be removed by surgery. No, you can't remove all the cancer by surgery. So they go ahead to do radiotherapy to kill the cancer cells, go ahead to do chemotherapy. Chemotherapy to drugs, and they also target this cancer therapy. And now new advancement is immunotherapy, where improve your own immune system to fight cancer, which is very good. And then also there are some that are hormonal therapy that targets estrogen and progesterone, which are these are the hormones that I mentioned that fuels the cancer cell. So it targets the estrogen receptors in the cancer cells, so they are not able to absorb estrogen from the body to be able to grow. So there's also and targeted therapies also. These ones also target the cancer. So there are a lot of therapies, and what everybody is just trying to do is just a way to kill these cancer cells as much as possible and prolong
survival. Because most of the time, what actually kills is metastasis. That is when breast cancer goes to the lungs, breast cancer goes to the brain, and then it goes to the bones, other parts of the body. And that is when it now becomes the whole death sentence. The fact that it can spread, it doesn't just stay at the breast. When it's advanced, it starts to go everywhere, go to the brain, go to the lungs, go to the kidneys, and just cause a whole lot of damage to the body.
Wow. It sounds very scary, but that's why it's not that big. But honestly, that's why we're creating this awareness. It's very, very, thank God for the month of October. So I don't know, there are a lot of centers, like I said before, that are doing giving discounts. Like Pharmacy Rhoda said, government interventions. I know Medic Aid, they're giving 50% discount. That's in Abuja here. Dr. Joy, is there any center that you may have your hands on that are doing any promo discount for people to go for a mammogram, as the case may be, or any screening sort of in this month?
Well, I don't have any in mind, but I'm sure if you search the net, most especially Lagos, Abuja hospitals, this is the month, so everybody is doing awareness, and yes, and some NGOs also, private hospitals, doing awareness and slashing prices for screening.
Yes, like Everright Healthcare Foundation, they are also sponsoring, doing a whole lot when it comes to breast cancer. You can also Google them. Like Dr. Joy has said, just go online. There's so many centers giving free screening in this month. Please don't be left out. Tell the people in the villages, your mother, your sisters, your friends, let them go all out. I know there's this myth too that people are scared. People are, in Nigeria, in Africa, we're not so exposed to a whole lot of things. People even hide. We feel we can survive everything. Nigerians are for survivors. They'll just go over the counter. Don't worry, that thing to go. Let me take the whole malaria. Please, it's not one of those malaria, typhoid, basic Nigeria things. Please,
This is not the kill African
it's
man.
not. Yes, please let us be intentional. That's why we're doing this awareness. Go get screened, especially if you're of age. Go get screened. So I don't know if I have any. We'll be wrapping up right now at this point. This topic is something to really share this podcast. If you're out there listening, just give your own voice. I don't know if I have any final words would like to say, Pharmacy Rhoda, on this very important topic.
Okay, the final word I want to say is on exercise. They say women that engage in regular exercise have lower chances of coming down with cancer. So, in as much as we live busy lives because everyone is trying to meet up with the increasing demands, let's try to chip in little exercise into our daily routine, as it's been found to reduce lots of health related issues. So, that's my final conclusion.
Wow, that's so
Very
lovely.
good.
So even if you don't go to the gym, you don't have, at least run or do something. Yes. Dr. Joy, do you have any words you'd like to say, even as we wrap up?
Yeah, I think my final conclusion would still boil down to knowing your breasts. And the best you can do for this month is just to do a self-examination, tell yourself, tell your friends, right? You can gather yourself, oh, let me check your breasts, hope that there's not. That's one thing that you can do at this period, this of work. I feel like that is it. Just make sure that you're always checking. And once you notice anything, go to the hospital. That's the first step. Prevention is better than cure.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley.
A lot to
You have
say.
learned a whole lot,
Well,
right?
I've
You
learned
go
a
tell all
lot.
those sisters out there that
Yes.
have you checked your breast? We don't like mentioning some words. Please, let's not be shy. Breast is an
Nah.
English word.
They're all
Please,
body
let's
parts.
go out
and
there.
they're
Yeah, they're all
grown
body
ups.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're all body parts. So this us doing what we love to do, lending our voice, encouraging you out there, seek knowledge, do the needful, as our experts have said here on the show,
Yes.
and let's stay alive.
Stay alive.
Stay alive.
Yes, stay alive. Yeah. So for me,
And not just stay alive, to improve the quality of living. You can stay alive and you're not having a quality life. So
yeah, that's why they said exercise. Don't
Yeah.
be lazy. You know what? I know we're wrapping up, but I've heard like people that have finished giving birth and all that. That some people literally get their breasts cut off. Yes, like can we use amputated for that? I don't know, but they get it cut off, like literally, to remove all the glands that could be.
That could have predisposed them to anything in the
Yes.
future.
Well, I know we're not doing that now. I've heard that a lot in the Western world, but I guess that's another preventive. I know Angela Jolie did it, the actress, and some people that are doing it abroad, basically. But before we get there, let's just do the ones we can do.
Exactly. All right.
Okay, beautiful people. Thank you so much, Dr. Joy, for coming, and Pharmacy Rhoda. Thank you so much for always being here with us. It's truly a pleasure. You guys out there, it's another Friday night from We at the Studio.
Yes.
Bye.